Hello students, probably you will remember that we were covering the portion of electronics in the class, and some portion of electronics is already covered in the class where we have already discussed about the bipolar junction transistor. Also we have discussed about PN junctions, different kinds of semiconductors. We have discussed about Zener diode, and transistor biasing was discussed in the class. The relationship between transistor parameters, that is alpha, beta, that was also discussed. Probably you will remember that we have calculated the relationship between alpha and beta. Alpha was like beta by beta plus 1, and the value of beta was equals to alpha by 1 minus alpha, where alpha and beta, these were the transistor current gain. It was called the DC current gain and small signal current gain. The value of alpha, that is also discussed. The value of beta, it was discussed. The value of beta was equals to IC by IB, that is collector current divided by the base current. And the value of alpha was also discussed. Alpha was equals to minus IC by IE. And about the transistor, we have discussed that generally we have two types of transistors. One is PNP and another NPN. The symbolical diagram of them was like that. For one PNP transistor, the arrow sign will be inwards, and for NPN transistor, the arrow sign will be outwards. The arrow sign will indicate the emitter. The flat side is the base, the other side is the collector. This is one NPN transistor and this is one PNP transistor. So NPN means this side will be N, this side will be P, this side will be N. Similarly here also. And about the biasing, I have discussed in the class that always you have to remember one thumb rule. The emitter based junction is forward bias and collector based junction is reverse bias. Let me write it down for the simplicity of understanding. The emitter based junction, that is emitter to base, means this junction, emitter based junction, this should be always forward bias, and collector based junction CB, that should be always reverse bias. That also we have discussed in the class. This is one thumb rule for transistor connection or transistor biasing. Now today we will start a new portion, that is usefulness of transistor as an amplifier. So let me write the heading first. Transistor as an amplifier. So how can we use transistor as an amplifier? The simplest idea of transistor using as an amplifier is to connect the transistor in any mode of biasing. Let us see in different modes of biasing how the transistor will behave. First, let me connect the transistor in the common base configuration. Suppose this is the transistor and I am considering one PNP transistor. So for PNP transistor, the arrow will be inwards always. This is the inwards arrow. This is the base. I am doing first the common base configuration, that is CB configuration, common base. Base is common, so make the base ground first. Then you are allowing here some small AC signal which you want to magnify or amplify. Then the battery. Here also you are connecting one load resistance through which you are going to measure the output voltage, or you can write it as delta V0, increase in output voltage. Then one battery, then completion of circuit. Now this side will be called VBE, this battery VBE, because this is PNP transistor as I told. So this is PNP transistor, and this is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Our aim is to connect the circuit properly. How to connect the circuit properly? This is the thumb rule. That is the emitter based junction will be forward bias, collector based junction will be reverse bias. So emitter base junction, which one is the emitter base junction? This to that junction. This is the emitter base junction, emitter to base junction. This should be forward bias. So forward bias means the positive will be connected with the positive side of the battery like this. collector base junction should be reverse bias. This is the collector to base junction. It should be connected with this battery. This should be reverse bias. Reverse bias means this is positive, so this will be connected with negative side of the battery, like that. And this is VCC, battery connected to collector. Okay, how the current will flow? Current will flow. This is the value of IC. This is IE, emitter current, and this is IB. What you have to calculate? The amplification, how good it will behave as amplifier. Now how can I write the value of V0? Delta V0, that will be equals to minus of, give it the name of the load resistance, suppose this is RL, this will be minus of RL into delta IC. That is, increase in delta IC multiplied by the load resistance will be equals to the voltage drop across the resistance. So this is the voltage drop across the resistance. So if you want to calculate the amplification factor AV, that will be equals to minus of delta V0, that is the output, divided by the input. Input is what? Input is delta, this VBE. And what will be the value of delta VBE? Delta V0 that I have already calculated. If we put the value, this will be minus of RL into delta IC divided by delta VBE. This value will be equals to RI into delta IE. IE is the input current and RI is the input resistance. So you can write from here, that is sorry, the value of delta IC by delta IE. Look here, IC by IE equals to alpha. So this is small signal current gain. You can write it as alpha prime into RL by RI. That is alpha prime into RL by RI. And what is the value of alpha prime? The general value of alpha prime is always less than 1. The general value of alpha prime, it varies between 0.9 to 0.95. I am considering the value of 0.95. Suppose the value is 0.95. So 0.95 times RL by RI. Now you have to choose according to the value of the RL and RI. Suppose I am choosing like that, RL, the load resistance, it is considered, suppose it is 10K. And the input resistance Ri, this is very small. Suppose this is 1K, very small. So the amplification factor will be 10 divided by 1, that is 10, multiplied by 0.95, that is 9.5. The amplification is 9.5. So unless you choose the RL, the value of RL by Ri, that is the whole amplification of this kind of biasing will be depending on the choice of RL and Ri. You choose RL very high compared to Ri, then your amplification will be good. So let us see now another circuit. Suppose I am now considering another type of circuit, and this circuit is common emitter configuration, CE, common emitter configuration, same transistor as an amplifier. So how to bias it? First I am considering the transistor. As I told in the class, for common emitter configuration, always put the emitter connected in the vertical ground. This is the resistance, and I am considering this PNP transistor, or you can consider NPN. Okay, for simplicity, this is a PNP, I am considering this is NPN. So NPN, it will be outwards. This is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. And this is N, this is P, this is N, NPN transistor. Here will be the small AC signal, then the battery, then it is grounded. Here will be the load resistance, then the battery, then connected like that. So what is our thumb rule? Our thumb rule is emitter base junction will be forward bias, collector base junction will be reverse bias. So emitter to base junction, this junction will be forward bias. So positive connected with the positive side of the battery, and collector base junction is reverse bias, N connected with the positive side of the battery, like that. Simple circuit. And where to calculate the voltage drop? Across this load resistance RL, this will be delta V0. And input voltage, there is change in input voltage, that will be equal to delta VBE, emitter to base, this one. So for this circuit, you have to calculate a little. How to calculate? First you have to calculate the value of this is this direction IE, this direction it will flow IC, and this will be IB, and this is VBE, emitter to base voltage. This is VCE, and this is RL. So I can write the equation like that: IC equals to alpha IE plus ICO. The equation we have learnt in the class, and instead of IE you can write it IB plus IC plus ICO. Now take all IC in one side, so you can write IC equals to alpha by 1 minus alpha into IB plus 1 by 1 minus alpha into ICO. Now consider the small change in the value of IC. It will be IC plus delta IC, small change in the value of IC. It will be equals to alpha by 1 minus alpha into IB plus delta IB plus 1 by 1 minus alpha into ICO. Then in the next step you have to write the value of delta IC. And what will be the value of delta IC? It will be alpha by 1 minus alpha into delta IB. Now you calculate the value of small signal or amplification factor for small signal current gain. Amplification factor, that will be equals to delta V0 as the previous one, delta V0 divided by delta V. This is BE, base to emitter or emitter to base voltage. That will be equals to RL into IE or delta E into RI into IB. Now you have already calculated the value of delta IC by delta IB. Sorry, this will not be IC, this will be IC. This is IC. You have already calculated the value, so your result is RL by RI into alpha by 1 minus alpha. Now you check out alpha by 1 minus alpha is nothing but beta. That you can write beta into RL divided by RI. Or you can put any value of alpha. That I told already, the value of alpha varies between 0.9 to 0.95. You put the value of alpha 0.95, then you will get alpha by 1 minus alpha. That value will come around 20. So whatever be the value of RL by RI, if it is unity, RL and RI are same, RL equals to RI, same, then also there will be some amplification because of the choice of the circuit. But in the previous case, that is in the common base configuration, you have to choose RL and RI accordingly in order to get amplification. But here, whatever be the value of RL by RI, input resistance cannot be greater than the output resistance. However, if it is unity, then also because of the choice of the circuit, the value of beta is always greater than 1, the amplification will be better here. So if it is asked in the semester that which configuration will give you better amplification, you have to choose that common emitter configuration will give us better amplification. So two configurations that I have done here, common base configuration and common emitter configuration. One configuration is left, that is common collector configuration. So for common collector configuration, you will try it at home your own. If you cannot, then ask me through WhatsApp thread. The next class I will try to make it learn for you. Now let us move to the next part of the lesson, that is the transistor characteristics. So what are the transistor characteristics? Transistor characteristics means that you are biasing one transistor in common base or common emitter configuration. Then from that you can draw the characteristics curves. That is, you are having the choice of the parameters. You are fixing 2 or 3 parameters and varying out any 2 of them. Then what will be the characteristics curve of that? I am giving you some example. Suppose I am having a transistor of which I am having some parameters A, B, C and D. 4 parameters of a transistor. I am keeping the C and D constant. I want to see the variation between A and B. Suppose A is the independent parameter and B is the dependent parameter. What will be the characteristics between A and B? That is the transistor characteristics. So I will show you with an example. First let me start with the common base configuration, the common base characteristics, CB characteristics. The circuit that you have already learned, a very simple circuit. Suppose I am trying it with PNP transistor. This is P, this is N, this is P, this is base. Base will be grounded first. Then this is emitter, this is base, this is collector. You have to bias the circuit now. How to bias the circuit? Emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. This is the thumb rule. So there are two ammeters. With this ammeter I will try to measure the value of IC. With this ammeter I will try to measure the value of IB. These are two ammeters. Milliammeter, this is also milliammeter or micrometer, whatever you want. You can instead use one micrometer here also. Then one variable resistor so that I can vary the input and output voltages. And the choice of the circuit we have chosen, it is common base configuration. Suppose there is one resistor. Now there will be the battery. The battery is variable battery. Instead of that also you can show with an arrow sign. So emitter base junction is forward bias. Emitter to base junction, this should be forward bias. P should be connected with the positive side of the battery like this. And collector base junction is reverse bias. This will be connected with the negative side of the battery like this. Okay, very simple. Instead of this circuit, you can show with an arrow sign with the battery like this also. So this will give you, if I insert here one voltmeter, I will get here the value of VBE, emitter to base VEB, and here if I add one voltmeter, here or here ammeter will have very less voltage drop. Anywhere you can connect it. This will give you VCB. Now look at the circuit. The transistor is now well connected with the batteries. The configuration is done now. I can measure VEB, IB, VCB and IC. I can measure the voltage drops across the collector to base. I can measure the voltage drop across the emitter to base. I can measure the base current, that is the input current. This part will be called the input circuit and this part will be the output circuit. Left hand side, this is the input circuit of the transistor. This part is the output side of the transistor. So I can measure the input current, I can measure the output current. So I am having now 4 parameters. Out of them, IB, I am having IC, I am having VEB, I am having VCB. These are called as IB is input current, IC is output current, VB is the input voltage, and VCB is the output voltage. Now I have to show the characteristics of the transistor. I am having 4 parameters now. Suppose I am looking at the input characteristics. Input characteristics means the variation between the input parameters. What are the input parameters? This is input current and this is input voltage. So if I now draw a curve between these two, keeping the output parameters fixed, that is I am keeping the output voltage fixed. Okay, output voltage means VCB, keeping it fixed. I am drawing the curve between the input voltage and input current. Input voltage means VEB and IB. The curve will be like this. This is for VCB 0 volt. This is for Suppose 1 volt, this is 2 volt. That is, with increase in value of VCB, the curve will increase like that. These characteristics curve will be called the input characteristics. Similarly, if I see the output characteristics, the output characteristics curve is the curve between, or the characteristics between the two output parameters, output voltage, that is VCB, and here you have to plot the output current, that is IC. The curve will be like this. It will start increasing from the negative region, it will go like that and get saturated. The lower one is for input voltage IB equals to 0. This is suppose IB equals to 1 microammeter, this is 2 microammeter, this is 3 microammeter, like this. Now this curve, that is output characteristics curve, will have 3 different regions. Which are the regions? First, when it is increasing gradually, then this part will be called the saturation region. This part. And when it is linear with the x-axis or with the output voltage, this part is called the active region. And the shaded region below the curve of IB equals to 0, this area is called the cutoff region. There is another characteristics of the transistor, that is called the transfer characteristics, that is the variation between the two currents, that is IC and IB, keeping the input and output voltage fixed. That you have to learn yourself consulting any book. If you cannot, in the next class I will try to explain it. And these are the characteristics curve of common base configuration. Similarly, when I go in common emitter configuration, the characteristics curve will be almost same but a little different. How the difference will look like? Here I am trying to plot the circuit for common emitter configuration. Very simply I am trying to plot it. Suppose this is my transistor and I am considering now one NPN transistor instead of PNP. This is NPN, this is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Here will be an ammeter that will measure the base current, and it will be connected with some battery here. This will be grounded. Then here we'll have one battery. Connection is done. I am having here one ammeter that will measure the collector current IC, this base current, emitter base junction forward bias, so P will be connected with the positive side of the battery like that. This variable battery, I am putting here one voltmeter that will measure V, this base to emitter, VBE, and here I will put one voltmeter, this will measure VCE. Here will be the battery, collector base junction reverse bias, N will be connected with the positive part of the battery like that. Variable battery. I am making the circuit simple, but actual circuit should look like that. And if you have enough time, if you can draw it accurately, so try to draw it like this way. This is a simplified version. So what are the input parameters now? Input parameters are input current IB and input voltage VBE. What are the output parameters now? Output current IC, output voltage VCE. So if I now plot first the input characteristics, this will look like the variation between input voltage VBE and IB. How it will look like? this will be like this. And for some fixed voltages in the output region, the output voltage I am trying to fix it at suppose this is VCE equals to 2 volt, this 1 volt, this 0 volt, like that. Similarly, as previous one, if I draw now the output characteristics, the output characteristics will look like this one. It will not start from the negative region like the previous one, it will start from the positive region. There will be little slope. The previous one was exactly almost linear with the x-axis, but there will be little slope like that. This is suppose for the I am making it the variation between VCE and IC. In the previous one, I considered IB equals to something, it will be IE. That I thought, I am making some mistake. In the previous one, the input voltage, this is not IB, this is IE. Base is common here, so it will be the variation between IE. Little mistake. Okay, everything is fine now. IE equals to 0. 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, etc. This is emitter. The base is common. Emitter current IE. Okay. But now this will be base current. IB equals to 0, 1 micrometer, 2 micrometer, dot, dot, etc. So like the previous one, as long as it is increasing almost linearly, this region, this total region, this will be called saturation region. The region when it is almost linear with the x-axis, this region will be called active region. And the region below the value of IB equals to 0, as it was the region below the IE equals to 0, this region will be called cutoff region. So in this whole page you will see at once the two configurations, common base and common emitter. In the common base configuration, the input current is IE, input voltage is VEB, output current is IC, output voltage is VCB. Here the input current is IB, input voltage VBE, output current is IC, output voltage is VCE. And this battery will be called the base battery VBB. This is collector battery VCC, and these are variable. You can change the values. You are having 4 parameters in any transistor configuration, whatever it be, the common base configuration or common emitter configuration. You have to play with the 4 parameters in order to get the input characteristics and the output characteristics. Now there are some questions that from the input characteristics of the output characteristics, what is the necessity of drawing that, and from that what the parameters I am going to get. You can get the values of alpha and beta. There is a current gain, alpha, beta, and all the transistor hybrid parameters. About the hybrid parameters I will talk later, but the value of alpha, beta is very simple thing which can you get from these calculations. How you know the value of alpha and beta? Last day in the previous class I have discussed, and today also I have given you some idea about beta was equals to the value of IC by IB, and alpha was equals to IE by IC by IE. So you can easily get the value of input resistance, output resistance, and transistor current gain. How can we get the input resistance? Suppose here I am drawing one straight line. In the input characteristics or common base configuration, I am drawing a straight line like that, and from the straight line I am drawing two parallel lines which is intersecting the IE axis. So I am having here two values of IE. Suppose the value is IE2 and the value is IE1. So here the value of VCB is changing. VCB is what? VCB is the output voltage. The change in output voltage is giving you the change in input current. So the ratio will be equals to, okay, that is the home task. I am not giving you the whole answer. From that I can get one ratio. I can do it like that. I am increasing the line here and I am intersecting it two values here. For one simple value of IE, suppose the value is IE3, one value of IE, I am getting two consecutive values of VBE. This is VBE or VEB1, this is VEB2. I am getting two values. So change in VBE and change in VCB for a fixed value of IE. From that ratio I can get one parameter. Here also the same. For a fixed value of IB I am getting two corresponding values of VBE, and for two corresponding values of VCE, that is the change in output voltage by input voltage. Output voltage by input voltage will give you the amplification factor. I am giving you the answer now. And from this curve also you can get some ideas about, suppose from this I am drawing a straight line which is vertical. The vertical straight line will from horizontal lines will intersect the IC axis like that. So two corresponding values, this value and that value, I am getting the change of IB and corresponding change in IC. So value of IC by IB, that will give you the value of beta, and here also the change between IC by IE will give you the value of alpha. So now consult any book, study hard, you can get that. From the transistor characteristics you can get all the values of alpha, beta and all the transistor high bit parameters, that is the input voltage, output voltage, transfer resistance, amplification factor, everything. So that is for today's class. So the next day I will try to have a continuation on that, and in the next class I will try to continue about the transistor high bit parameters, and before that I will try to cover the transistor biasing models, that is the which